Why must it be? Through nature's tragedy, we
Evening and good morning somewhere out there in the world. You're listening to Sound Off with E.V.E. This is Free for All Friday. Remember, TGI Friday. Certainly been a beautiful but cold day here, but we're nice and warm and cozy in our studio, 487 Broadway. This is Sound Off with E.V.E. WLTH. This is AM 1370, the Region's Choice. And the views expressed by the callers and the hosts are not necessarily the views of WLTH radio management, owners, and sponsors. How you guys been? How's the week been? I apologize if you hear a little chime in the background. That's going to be the laptop. My tablet is missing, so I'm using something bigger because I don't have glasses, but I want to thank my guest friend that's letting me borrow some glasses so I could see, because you guys know me, I am blind. I'm getting blinder by the day. How about that? But some people say that once you reach 40, that's what happens. At first, I used to say, no, I don't think so. And once I reached 40, I said, I guess it's true. Nonetheless, you know that the sound off number is 219-885-1371. We have an exciting show today because I'm giving away, which I'm going to have to send my daughter to bring the basket in. I forgot. We're giving away baskets of school supplies. Yes, Eve is feeling nice. Not just today, but I think all the time, even though it could be storming in my world. But we're going to be giving away free phones, too. Yes, you heard right, free. Free is always good, and if I can get something for free, I'm going to make sure that you know that you can get something for free. Not necessarily for me, but for you. And you're going to listen to our guests explain how's that possible? How can some people get free phones? Of course, there's no gimmick, there's no gadget to it, there's no catch. It's just that you have to qualify for it. But it's something simple, and it's to help the community, to help the people that are in need. Times are tough nowadays. It's been tough for me, but I don't live it that way, because it's how your mindset is, and how you program it is the way your day is the way your life is. To be honest with you, as I always say, life is what you make of it. So we have a guest coming on today in just a few minutes, and I'm just going to have to spoil you with the weather. Not that it's any good, but I'm going to have to tell you that, that white stuff that we've had enough of, it's going to come. So be prepared. And the below zero wind chill factor, be prepared. It's going to come. And for Houston, it's 45 degrees and sunny. Las Vegas, mostly sunny, 66 degrees on a high. In Los Angeles, mostly sunny, 61 degrees. Barcelona, Spain, 43 degrees. And Celaya, Mexico, 63 degrees, mostly sunny. Toronto, they could feel what we're feeling, 1 degree Fahrenheit, clear. Hammond, Indiana, 7 degrees, mostly sunny, and it was mostly sunny all day. I love taking the photos of the sunrise in the mornings, and it's certainly great to see it every morning. But what are we going to have for the weekend, guys? Are you ready for some more snow? Saturday, well, tonight's going to drop to 20 degrees, all right? And Saturday is going to be 25 degrees on a high, 16 degrees on a low end. But I believe we're going to see some flurries this weekend. Okay, something's wrong with this phone. It's working slower than my brain. Come on. All right. Saturday, March 1st, 25 degrees, mostly cloudy, breezy, and quite cold. A little accumulation of snow late in the afternoon. On the high end, it's 25, but on the low end at night, very cold with 2 to 4 inches of snow. Yes, more of that white stuff. 16 degrees on a low. It'll feel like 1 degree. For Sunday, we're going to get 16 degrees, cloudy and frigid with a bit of snow. Storm total snowfall, 2 to 4 inches of snow. At night, it'll be 8 degrees, mostly cloudy and frigid, and a wind chill factor will be negative 12. Okay, I have a caller. Go ahead, caller. You are on the air.
Hi, Eve. Good evening. How are you?
Oh, I'm blessed. How are you?
I'm good, Eve. Hey, I wanted to take this opportunity to invite your action-oriented listeners to come out and put their legs to the conversation because we are hosting a meeting there at the radio station at 9 o'clock in the morning for those people who have an interest in presenting proposals, plans on projects and activities that we can move forward on.
Mm-hmm.
So I just wanted to get the word out. We're going to be there at 9 o'clock sometime between 9 and 10:30 and just have a conversation related to now that the African American or Black History Month is over. We talked about the past. I'd like to have a conversation about our future. What do we do? What do we plan to do
exactly.
now?
Let's work on strategies. Let's work on plans of action.
Yeah, that's exactly
enough of the talking.
Yeah, I want to facilitate it, and I want to be short with people about the idea that I don't want to digress and talk about anything that has happened, but I prefer to talk about those things that they want to present to us as something that we can, collaborate and work together to accomplish.
Well, if there's anything I can do to facilitate or assist that, you know how to reach me here at 219-885-1371 while I'm here, but you can also send me an email or information that you'd like for me to share. And I'm new with the new email address. What's my new email address, Mars?
Give me a second.
That's funny. Oh, Lord.
Eve Gomez Enterprise at gmail.com.
There you go. I knew it was a little long. Eve Gomez Enterprise at gmail.com. And that's for media purposes.
Okay.
If you want me to announce something or promote something or be involved with the community, and it has to involve media or just putting the word out there in the community.
Man, that's great. That's great. You're doing a fine job. People have talked well on your program about, the subject matter, and you have done the work of bringing people here, facilitating the conversation, about those types of things that matter. And now I like to see a group of people who has a willingness to work together to begin the process of working together. It's not going to happen all tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the first meeting. Mm-hmm. But I don't want to just meet. I want to plan for things that we're preparing to do. And so I certainly appreciate you giving me just this moment to share this with your listening audience, because you got your own following. You know, I called in earlier today, too.
Oh, okay. Okay. No
so
problem.
I really appreciate you and everything that you do.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
That's me out there blowing as I'm passing.
Okay. Oh, you should have warned me. I'd look up. I'm typing. I'm tweeting.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you so much.
And I'll be listening.
All right. Well, you do that, and thank you. Continue to listen. Appreciate you. You're listening to Sound Off with E.V.E. here on WLTH Radio. Know that I am streaming live, and yes, I do have a YouTube channel now, and it's official E.V.E. Did I say it right? Oh, my memory's working a little bit. That's and also follow me on Twitter, and that's at official E.V.E. Am I right? Yes. All right. Whoo, 2. I'm ahead. And I am streaming live right now, and that's ustream.tv/channel /WLTH-talk. So if you want to tune in, please do so and join me here today. As I mentioned, I have a guest coming up, so if you can start setting up to come up here by the microphone, Ed, please do so, man. I love the color you're wearing. I can certainly see you a mile away. I love that green. I have a shirt that same color. Love it. Hello, Ed. How are you?
I'm doing really well. Yourself?
Oh, not too bad, considering the rain and the snow and everything that's about to come. No, we're doing great.
Well, it's almost spring, so.
Almost is not the same as is. and many people are tired of hearing snow. But you know what? As I mentioned on Facebook before, it's already here. It's coming. What are we supposed to do? Complain some more? I don't think so. Hey, Mars, I'm sorry. I'm going to tell you this on the air. I'm not connected. So if you can do me the honors while I introduce my my friend here, Ed. Ed, what brings you out here? It's got to be something good if you're with E.V.E. here today, right?
Well, exactly. You know, I just want to let your listeners and everybody know here that we have some free phones that we're giving away in the area.
Yeah. And when I heard the word free, I was like, oh, we got to talk. How can we get a free phone? Well, I have to qualify to get a free phone, right?
Exactly. And pretty easy to qualify. I mean, basically, these phones are part of the Lifeline program. And in order to qualify, you must prove that you are on some type of state assistance. Mainly, you're either receiving food stamps or Medicaid. Those are the 2 most common forms we see. So all you have to do is show your ID, state ID card, and one of those 2 forms of identification, and you'll get a phone with 250 minutes right on the spot.
So are you like those people I've seen on Broadway with the tents, and there's a long line, and I see a sign that says free phones?
Exactly. I mean, we will be setting up some tents once the weather gets nicer. We're trying to make awareness now, do some things inside, and the nice thing about what we do is we're able to give you the phone right on the spot.
Yeah, that's what I was like. I talked to the trustee's office here in Gary and in Hammond, which the one from Hammond is the same as East Chicago. What they do is they have the intake applications there. So when someone comes in asking for assistance and they have the Medicaid or the right documentation, they give them an application, but then they have to wait for the phone to get mailed to them. So I'd rather just see it to believe it.
Well, exactly, and and that there are companies that do process it that way. We believe get the phone right away. There's been some situations where people don't always receive their phones in the mail.
Right, that's why I said this is a for sure thing.
Exactly.
So tell us a little bit about who Ed is. Ed, how do you pronounce your last name?
My last name is Mintz,
Mintz, with a Z?
with a Z, correct.
And so how long have you been doing this?
This is my third year doing this. I had my own cell phone stores for about 5 years. I worked with one of the major providers and got back into it recently through a friend of mine. So we actually, over the past couple of years, we've been mainly working in Illinois, and since we did so well with it there, they've given us the opportunity to come here into Northwest Indiana. And
so with now I'm glad when I found out you're here in Indiana, I was like, okay, let's get to working. So we're here already working, we're talking, we're already planning as we're talking. To accept as the program proof of documents, there's several different kind, right? You said a food stamp card?
correct. I mean, the first thing that everybody has to bring in is a picture ID card issued by the state. Typically, it'll be just an ID that was given out by the BMV, but also, if you have a passport or anything that establishes who you are. And once you have that, then if you are on food stamps, you'll have your food stamp card with your name on it. And with those two IDs, you're good to go. If you're on Medicaid, you'll have your Who's Your Health-Wise card. I know occasionally they change the types of cards, but it does have to match your name. If you're receiving TANF, that's another form. Or if you're actually on a low-income energy assistance program, we can accept that. School lunches, if you're getting free school lunches or discount on school lunches, that's also acceptable. And we do have a low-income program, which if you are below a certain income based upon your household, you also can qualify based upon that criteria.
What got you, well, first of all, let me ask you, how does it feel to be giving away something that you know will be vital to someone that actually can save a life, just having that phone right then and there?
Well, personally, I mean, I believe if people are in positions where they're struggling and they can use a phone to save it could save a life. And a lot of people, they have to make choices especially if you're receiving food stamps, haven't been working for a while, having a hard time getting a job. And this is one less expense that you have to go out and get either a prepaid phone or whatever. You can use those funds that you've saved on your phone for other important things that necessities in your life.
Now, I'm going to ask the question that everybody asks. What's the catch? Is there a catch? I mean, is there something that's hidden, little small remarks?
No, there's really no catch. I mean, you get the phone. The main thing is you'll have the phone. You'll get 250 minutes, and that's good for 1 year. As in the 11th month, you'll have to recertify yourself. Now, naturally, as you're using this phone, because a lot of people may use it, they're trying to get a job, and they need to have a phone number. If somebody calls them, if you get a job and you're not receiving any of these benefits, you just call and they'll turn your phone off.
Mm-hmm.
If you're still having circumstances beyond the 12 months, you can get recertified for another 12 months.
Which you'll ask for the same documentation for it?
Correct. They'll just confirm that you are still receiving the benefits, or you're supposed to follow up, and if anything changes, just like when you go for your benefits
mm-hmm.
and you work with your caseworker, if something changes, then you also need to report that to the company.
How, when you have one of your locations set up, what's the attendance like? Do you see a lot of people actually getting in line and benefiting or taking advantage of this?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Usually what happens is when we set up word of mouth, once people know we're at a location, of course you'll see a crowd around. Everybody wants to know what's going on there, and they'll come up. And sometimes people don't have their IDs with them, or for whatever reason. What we're trying to do is establish a few locations where we can be there day in and day out, so that in the event that somebody's not aware that we're there at that moment, they'll tell their friends, and we'll be there the next day, and then they could keep coming. And
well, I was one of those that, as I drove by on Broadway, was wondering, how did that work? Well, asking you shall receive, right? So you're here telling me firsthand how it works. Normally on a typical day, how many phones do you give away?
Well, 100 is typically the number that we'll make sure we have 100 phones. Sometimes we'll have 200 phones, depending on what area we're in. What we find is that we'll work one location, and as the numbers start diminishing, because after all there is one per household, then we will, typically what I do is I'll ask people that are there, where's a good place? Where would you like to see us go next? Because we don't know every spot in the neighborhoods we're always in. And then we'll get a lead, and they say, okay, come down to this intersection, because a lot of people that are receiving these phones, they have to use public transportation. They can't just drive up. And if we can get to a spot where it's easy for people to just walk to, then we can get a lot more people.
And there's not 1 cent that they have to pay for?
Absolutely. There's nothing that they never get a bill. It's automatically paid for, and as long as they are qualified and remain qualified, they will never see a bill.
And can they add minutes to the plan? I mean, 250 minutes with me, I think in an hour they're gone. Or wait, make that 10 minutes.
Well, that's true.
230 minutes, it's just that, 230 minutes, and they go by so fast. So for those that can possibly afford more, can they add more?
Yes, they can purchase additional cards. Actually, the 250 minutes also translates into text messaging. You can use 250 text messages if you choose. One text message equals 1 minute. So
the combination.
You can allocate that, and then beyond that, there are, you can, for as little as $10, you can buy additional minutes. You can also have access to the internet, basic internet, and upgrade the phones for that matter. You can get a nicer phone if you choose.
Will they get anything in the mail sent to them to know about that, or is it the initial intake of giving them the phone? Is that when they get the information?
Yes, when they receive the phone, there's a brochure in there that explains all the different ways they can, because you can go on and register on the internet, and then you can add minutes through a debit card or prepaid card without even having to go anywhere. But there are, usually once we're established in an area, we'll identify perhaps convenience stores or different places where we will make sure that they have the ability to help individuals get the $10 or add the cards.
That's certainly great. So anyone that's out there that would like Ed to give away phones, if you have a storefront or a gas station, or if you know of a location that in that area would benefit the community to get a free phone, please let me know, and we can place Ed there to give away these phones. And I'm not here to sell the company that he's getting the phones from. I'm here to give you a free phone. That's the catch. Why are you listening? Why is he here? So that you know if you're one of those, or you know someone, a single parent, someone that has some type of disability. Now, they have to have Medicaid, right?
Yes, Medicaid, food stamps, or even if they're on a Section 8, there's 7 different ways to qualify. Typically, we see with the Medicaid and the food stamps, those are the 2 most common forms we receive. Because if you are on a Section 8, you do need to bring a current form indicating that you were approved for that, and most people aren't carrying that with them.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are someone who is receiving, any kind of energy assistance, or you are on a Section 8 program, and you come to one of our locations, as long as you have that with you, that will be fine.
So then let's just say I qualified for energy assistance this month, and that's because I had a bad, slow month. I'm self-employed. Will that qualify me?
Absolutely. As long as your form indicates that you did receive the benefits, it has to show that, again, you
Even though
did
I could be
qualify.
making $30,000 a year, it just happened to be a bad month?
Well,
How's
yes.
that work?
The way that works is that if you're showing me a form that says that they're giving you benefits this month, then you are qualified. Now, next month, if they've taken that away, that is your responsibility to let the company know that, no, I'm not receiving benefits, and
And how
I don't
likely does
qualify.
that happen? I mean, let's be real. Are they really that honest to call you, knowing that the need is there, to say I'm not getting his benefits?
Honestly, I would.
I mean, it's about conscious stuff, but
It is.
but
and that's why I'm thinking typically we don't see that. I would say out of every 100 phones, if I see one of that nature, and typically when people are receiving energy benefits, I don't think it's just for 1 month. Usually it's for a season, and then, I mean, they've been putting a lot of things in place to cut down on problems where people are receiving phones that don't necessarily qualify. As time goes on, they are stopping a lot of the problems that we've seen in the past.
So this is called the Introduction to the Access Wireless Lifeline Program. Is that what it's called?
Right.
The actual program?
And my job is to be the first point of contact. Once you receive the phone from me, if you lose the phone, you call the company, and they would send you another one, usually for, say, $20. But situations happen, and it is important, if you do lose your phone, that you report it, because what happens a lot of times, if somebody loses their phone, then they try to get another phone at a different tent, and they'll be prohibited from getting a phone. And if it truly was a situation where it got lost or stolen, you need to be removed out of the system so that you'll be able to receive another phone for whatever.
So,
the
like in
conditions
my
are.
case, my phone for a minute was stolen. So I got to let you know that my phone got stolen, and I'll get a replacement. Is that how it works?
Yeah, I mean, it's up to the company. Usually, from my past experience, they'll charge you $20, and then they'll mail one out. But if you don't report it and you came back, it would kick you out of the system. Basically, it would say you have a phone, and you wouldn't be able to get another phone.
Okay. Well, that's certainly a great information. So those of you that are interested in probably asking any questions, if you have any, 219-885-1371. I know I got some listeners calling there. So if you know someone that certainly can use this service and that's in need, and you heard Ed mention the ways of qualifying, to please give me a call here. Or you can call me 219-331-0701. Or if you want Ed in a certain location and you know that the need is in that community, he's going to come out with close to 100 phones. Now, if anyone is interested, do you have any phones with you?
If anybody's interested right now, I'd be more than happy to.
Darn, I don't have one of those cards. I would qualify for one right now, because I certainly thought I needed a phone last night, but now I'm just missing my tablet. So I got my phone back. That's great. But with that, I know we got some commercials to play. We do have to, what do they say, pay the lights, the heat, and the rent, and all that great stuff. You're listening to Sound Off with E.V.E. here on WLTH Radio. This is AM 1370, the Region's Choice, the best station in the nation.
And this football game.
In fact, there are some shelters, and sometimes we go to shelters, and they all have the same address. So as long as we know that it's a shelter, we have ways to override certain things so that everybody that's in the shelter can receive a phone.
Keyword shelter. What about homeless people? How can we help?
Well, that's a challenge because of the ID. These people must have an ID. So if we can't identify them with an ID, I'm not sure what we're doing now about. I mean, do some of these homeless people, I would imagine, they have no address, so they can't have a permanent ID. But
I may have someone that we're working on getting his ID and getting his Social Security card so that he can start receiving some type of benefits, slowly get him back up. Then once he gets his ID, then I say, hey, Ed, he's got his ID.
And that would be great. I mean, that's always something I think that's kind of bothered me when I'm at a location and I know this person can use a phone, but because they can't give me any, because these have to go into our systems and they get audited, and it's to protect everybody.
Right. So on the intake, they have to fill out an application, obviously. What information is typically asked of them?
Well, it's basically the application I do right on my iPad, and there's just some questions, do you have a phone? It's about 11 questions, and they just want to make sure that you understand that, it's a 12-month program. Just I think some of the things I had mentioned, if you no longer qualify for whatever program you're on, that it's your responsibility to contact the company and questions like that. They're just making sure that they're trying to cut down on the chances that people try to do things.
Fraud, you mean?
That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah, because a lot of people try to beat the system whenever they get a chance to, if they're able to, of course.
Right.
And you guys are just tuning in. It's 42 minutes after the hour. I have Ed Mintz here, and he is giving away free government phones, and that's why I felt it was important to bring him, because it is a free phone, as he said, with 250 free minutes or text each month. And what else is there with the wireless program is, or as they call it, the Access Lifeline program, free access wireless phone and free airtime, free voicemail, call waiting, caller ID, and 911 access, 911 access, free domestic long distance, free nationwide coverage on the communications network, and of course, no contracts, no monthly bills, or activations fee.
Also, I wanted to add, Kroger is the one who underwrites it. So Food for Less, I know there's several of those in this area. If you shop at Food for Less and you have one of their shopping cards, you can actually accumulate points to receive additional minutes.
Yeah, I was just reading the Earn Free Wireless Rewards. Is that what that is?
Correct.
So where they shop, it's a bonus if they're under that plan.
Yes.
Will they have that information given to them when they get their phone?
Correct.
Well, wonderful, awesome. So you guys heard that. If you don't want to take advantage of this, it's your loss. But again, if you know someone that's in need that can come here right now for 87 Broadway, can go home with a free cell phone. Now, are they charged, or do they have to charge them first?
They're charged. They're not fully charged. Just depends. I mean, they usually have a half a charge, so they could walk out of here and make a few calls. And it does come, you'll get a charger. You'll have, your phone number will be listed on there. And, you'll have voicemail, everything that...
What do the phones look like? Beggars can't be choosers, right?
Yeah.
But at least
not everybody can see,
show.
But that's one of our phones right there. So it's a basic...
I remember my mom and dad had one of these things.
I like to call it the candy bar phone.
It is the size of a small candy bar. So those of you that are viewing on Ustream can actually see what they look like. It's about 3.5 inches. 1.5 inch wide, 3.5 inches big, which is still slim enough, small enough to be in your purse or in your pocket. But you know what? We cannot expect one of these to be given for free, but this can be saving a life. And it says it comes with a battery, it comes with a charger, and
correct.
All good to go.
These are all brand new phones. Sometimes when they give out phones, they're reconditioned, refurbished phones. These phones are brand new, And like I said, if you lose the phone, you want to make sure you keep the card that's in here with the toll-free number so that you can make arrangements, to receive another
Well,
phone.
since we have a representative from the Lake County here, the Lake County Clerk Mike Brown here, I'm going to see if I can kind of talk to him and see how we can, because there's people in need that even go to the complex center, to the government center, see if there's a way that he can assist in to help give these phones to people that are in need. And most of those people sometimes do have to go to court, and they miss their appointment because they couldn't call. So with that, I want to thank you, Ed. Any last minute things that you want to say to the listeners about this wonderful Lifeline program?
Well, again, I just want to re-emphasize that I'm very excited about trying to help the community, getting these phones into the hands of the people that need them. If there's anybody that has a location, we're looking to staff. If we need additional staff, we will do that. And I just want to thank you very much for having me on your show and have all the good work that you're doing for the community. I know that's very important because in today's day and age, everybody could use a little bit of help to bring them to where they need to be.
Most definitely. And sometimes even some of us that are always promoting social services agencies, you never know that you may be one of them also in need. Times are tough. If you're self-employed, we have some tough times or tough months sometimes, so it can happen to anyone. With that, I want to thank you again, Ed, for coming on, and it's here with Sound Off with E.V.E. It's 46 minutes after the hour. Why, Marcito, Mars, you got something over there to move us? It's TGI Friday, Free for All Friday here on WLTH Radio. I'll be right back. Don't touch that dial. Hershey and Cassandra. Cassie, much love to you as well. Thank you for tuning in. And I don't know if the sound just went off or it's been like that through the whole interview, but I'm hoping not. But thank you for sending me that message, Bill. Appreciate it. You're listening to Sound Off with E.V.E. here on WLTH Radio. And for those that want to get a hold of me via email, again, it is... What was it again, Mars?
Eve Gomez Enterprise at gmail.com.
I just want you to talk, that's all. Eve Gomez. What is that again?
Enterprise
at gmail.com. Eve Gomez Enterprise at gmail.com. If you have a special announcement or something you'd like for me to share, please do so. Send that out to me. And I know that I've been reached out through LinkedIn. Some professionals that are offering their services would also like to come on and talk about it. I have someone that wants to bring their story here, and that's what I do. Share someone's story so that you don't feel like you're all alone, okay? And this coming weekend, tomorrow actually, we're going to be celebrating and dancing with salsa, and that's with Planting Possibilities tomorrow. And we're excited. Some of us are going to get to dance, so we're going to have a salsa dance instructor. I'm going to ask the couple that's sitting over there, see if they want to participate and learn some dance steps. If they don't know how to dance salsa, we certainly will teach them tomorrow. And where are we going to be at tomorrow? Well, that's going to be in the Innsbruck banquet I think that's considered Maryville, Indiana. So that's for Planting Possibilities. It's for a great cause. And I had an experience today. I didn't even mention it to you. I mentioned it to Omar, but I went to see how they make the tortillas, how they make the chips, how they make the flour tortillas, different than they make the corn tortillas. We got the American and the Mexican. It was pretty interesting. I said, I'm going to take the kids and do a tour because it was huge, big machines. And a shout out to the Martinez. Jaime, thank you so much for contributing for Planting Possibilities event tomorrow. Thank you for your donation. And if anyone wants to give any donation to Planting Possibilities, well, that's called Spring Thaw. That's the March event. And you can go to www.plantingpossibilities.org, or you can reach Brad Hemingway at 708-951-5492. You heard the founder a couple of weeks ago, or came in, or via phone, actually, and called and gave us the information about the Planting Possibilities, what it is that they're doing, and the Campagna Academy is actually involved with them, and we want to thank them for being part of making a difference. So that's also great, and it's for kids or young adults with disabilities, with autism. I mean, that seems to be something that's very well spread, and not many people know or are aware of how many people are actually with that. So be part of change and go to their website, call Brad, give a donation. The event is tomorrow, but they're always welcoming donations. Again, Planting Possibilities is a local nonprofit whose mission is to provide job training and opportunities for adults with developmental and intellectual disabilities in Lake County, Indiana, through gardening and growth activities. In 2013, we grew approximately 30,000 pounds of tomatoes and have recently received a grant from the Lake County Community Fund through the Legacy Foundation to expand their growing program in collaboration with Campagna Academy in Cherville. This growing season will again focus on uses and recipes for tomatoes, thus the salsa contest. So we're going to get to taste quite a bit of different salsas tomorrow. They are hosting the Spring Thaw event on March 1st. That's tomorrow at the Innsbruck Country Club in Maryville. They invite you to participate as a sponsor. So hope that, I'm not sure if they're going to allow some walk-ins, but you always are welcome to call. So they'll start the evening with a salsa tasting contest. The salsa will be provided by local restaurants. Attendees will have the opportunity to taste and vote for their favorite salsa. After tapa-style dinner, there will be salsa dancing exhibition and a chance to learn how to salsa dance. Yes, I'm going to be one of those teaching you how to salsa dance or getting you out on the dance floor, so beware, Eve is out there. It will be a unique way to start heating things up for spring, guys, so consider being part of this. They do have different sponsorship levels. So after you had a chance to review the opportunities, would be happy to answer any questions or custom design a sponsorship package if you'd like. There's another number that you can call them, 219-237-9353. 237-9353. So it's all for a good cause, and they are a 501c3 non-for-profit. So it's always great to see great things going on in our community and working together, coming together, all for the same common cause, and that's to help empower and grow in our community with awareness of everything that's going on out there. I will be bringing on someone from Illinois and the National Donors Organization for donors, organ donors. I met them 2 weeks ago downtown, so we're going to be having them come on as well. And it's all about awareness, bringing you guys great information, but keeping it real with real issues, because one day you never know when you may need a cornea, a heart, a liver, kidney. You never know. So with that, I want to say thank you for joining me here today. Much love to all of you. It's been great. It's been real. Got to go, got to run, but I'm not going to run fast because I'm just going to switch from this chair to that chair over there. We have two great guests coming up at Nuestra Comunidad. We have Michelle and Mike Brown from the voters, the Board of Election, from Lake County. So hang tight. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this. So continue to listen to WLTH Radio. Remember, Monday through Friday is Sound Off with E.V.E. So thank you again, and continue to listen.
We find unity when we come together. Racism, we feel shame. No one wants to take the blame. Through the fire, we all will hang. With love, we can change when we all come together.
in Gary is prepared to offer competent legal service. If you have experienced issues of a criminal... The law firm of Renzer Williams III, located at 3637 Grant Street in Gary, is prepared to offer competent legal service. If you have experienced issues of a criminal or civil nature, Attorney Williams is certified by the State Bar Association, and he has a history of providing first-class service to his clients. Attorney Renzer Williams III can be reached at 219-884-6000, or that address again is 3637 Grant Street in Gary.
Getting a tax refund and you need a car? You don't have good credit, bad credit, or just a low credit score? If you answered yes, come on in and see us at NWI Auto Sales at our brand new location at 7701 US 41 in Schererville, Indiana. Our new location is bigger, and NWI Auto Sales is ready to put you in a car of your choice. We accept everyone regardless to your past. We are ready to work with you. Our trained staff and our banks are standing by, ready to put you in your car. That's right, so stop by NWI Auto Sales, conveniently located at 7701 US 41 in Schererville, Indiana, and select from BMWs, Mercedes, Lexus, Chevrolets, Dodges, Hondas, Nissan, and much more.